You already know the deal, Hazy One. You not with it? Hit that X. Need to do an educational video. Because sometimes people take on responsibilities and they don't really know, they don't understand what that means. What we're going to talk about. So you see, I put up a picture of the wife's spotted leopard gecko thing. Animal requires quite a bit of care. Pretty independent, but it requires some care. Residue. Tide Pods. High risk, picky with me. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but what is this white residue? I guess these Tide Pods or whatever they are just leaving like white residue inside of here. It's annoying. It's cocaine? Might be. It's possible. What the hell? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I gotta stop using cheap detergent, I guess. Yeah, because it's leaving. And these are new pots. These are new. It's a Christmas present. When you're an adult, you get stuff other than socks, toys. You get cool stuff. Actually, we get something pretty cool. Now, G-Charles shooting root around. Hey. Hey, if I want my taxes done, I'm gonna stick my hand up your ass and move your mouth like a puppet. How about that? I was supposed to be making dinner. Lost track of time because stuff has been uploaded and I've been missing it. Got a phone call or two. I'm just waiting for people to get to know. There's something wrong with the notifications. I don't know what's going on. There's something wrong with notifications, and it's frustrating. But anyone who's ever owned a pet, you know that there are certain struggles you have to go through. And man, oh man. Some pets require more attention than others. Some pets require certain sustenance that others won't. While some require both. You got to feed it. You got to pay attention to it. You got to make sure that it doesn't destroy your property. All kinds of stuff. So you have to really ask yourself at the end of the day, what do you get out of owning the pet? Right? The pet is too cumbersome for your lifestyle. You probably need to let the pet go or put it down. So it's tough decisions. And, you know, especially if you're a homeowner, you have to be very, very, very attentive to what the animal does to your home because you're paying for it, right? You've invested a lot of money, or someone else has, into creating a domicile that you call a home, only to have some mongrel in some shape or form destroy it. No. That being said, this is something that we look into before we get a pet, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is irresponsible, very irresponsible, to take on the responsibility of having a pet, owning an organism, telling it what to do and making sure it doesn't tear up things and providing for it. You have to make sure beforehand that you understand exactly what that animal is going to do. If, for instance, my little brother owns a pit bull. Now, he's a big fan of pit bulls, and his name is Tank, if that lets you know the size of this animal. This animal could probably eat my child. But he is well aware of what Tank can do, well before he took on responsibility of obtaining the animal. He understands when he gets an apartment, he will have to pay an additional fee to own the animal. And just like almost any other place that you'll rent, there is an associated fee, not to mention the stuff that you're going to have to pay to feed the damn thing. So, but the more complex the animal, the more challenging it can be. Trust me, I know I've owned a few pets, but it's quite a few pets I haven't owned. Quite frankly, I don't want to. Too much trouble. To prepare my chicken. But some people have kind of, and this happens, bitten off more than they can chew. They acquire a new pet. They acquire something that is far beyond their comprehension. It is just amazing to me. Maybe it's a novelty. Maybe you hear people that like to own, what are these things called? Minks. Sorry, not minks, lynx. It's a fancy feral looking cat. They like to own lynx. And if you saw this animal, if you're not familiar with what a lynx looks like, it deserves to be in the fucking wild and stay there for another 100 million years. It's not the best animal to have in the world. People have somehow domesticated them, but if it were me, I would just stick with a cat. They are awesome to look at, but they also look like they would steal souls from children while they sleep. So some people like having exotic animals, and why not, right? I think that's why you hear people with tigers and these gigantic reticulated pythons and all these other types of animals, because they want the novelty of saying, I own this. This is mine. This is something that is attached to me. When you see it, you will think of me. And you may not have that. It's the same thing with jewelry. It's the same thing with, almost anything that people buy that's rare or fancy or, expensive. Same concept. Same concept. But what you can't do, what you don't do, is get upset when you take on the responsibility of having a creature under your care and not fully understand, not fully apprehend what it means to care for that organism. You can't. If you didn't do your research and you acquired this creature, then hey, you should know what you're in for. Now, that's not to say that animals can't surprise people. Trust me, there are plenty of animals out there that surprise people all the time. But with that being said, I doubt there's a creature that we know about that isn't predictable. Most of the creatures that we know, especially those who are more or less similar to ourselves, are creatures of habit, no pun intended. I can't tell you if I'm going to be surprised when one of those little chihuahuas just barks into the wee hours of the morning, little yappy barks. Other chihuahuas that I've seen have done that a number of times. I see you, Sarah. But it's amazing to me when people who are familiar with animals, who have been around some of these creatures, are surprised when the animal acts out. That to me is amazing. If you've been around chihuahuas all your life, why are you surprised that that little thing makes a lot of noise? Aren't you surprised? Nikla's here. Nikla, is this something that happens? You, the Hundmeister, people who want animals but don't want to care for them? It's amazing to me. It's amazing. If you are going to take on the responsibility of caring for this creature, then that means you just can't be upset when it doesn't do what you want it to do. I mean, it's an animal. That's what they do. They do what they want to do. There's a reason they are primitive. It's because they haven't evolved to our level yet. Watch somebody take me seriously with that. So someone's not going to see the obvious like sarcasm in my voice, but mark my words. But anyway, not surprised at all when a creature of habit does one of its habits. I'm just not. Maybe I'm just cynical. You know, maybe I'm just cynical. Maybe, you know, pet owners, animal owners should do a bit more research before they take on responsibility. Because shit happens. We know. I've owned a cat. Well, I should say we have owned a cat. It wasn't my damn idea. Mrs. Drag's idea. And guess what? She got pregnant. Well, kind of can't keep the cat. Both folks were upset. We had to bring the cat back. And I'm like, no, that's not how this gonna work. So I understand that taking the cat back is traumatizing for the cat. We'll take it to a shelter. But we understood the risk. And so we acted accordingly. And we found out that she was with child. Likewise, people who find themselves with a mangy mutt or some type of animal that is just too much for them, they should probably get rid of it before it destroys their home or invites other creatures to destroy the home. So it's just wise, I would say, to make sure before you take on certain responsibilities that you ensure you've done your proper research on these animals that you're taking on board. It's important. Who wouldn't want the joys of owning another creature? Right? History has shown that mankind has relied upon certain beasts of burden to do things that some of us don't want to do. So we domesticate, we go and colonize, we do all types of things to acquire beasts of burden. We'll do great lengths, many, many years, many, many generations. But that's with the understanding that you are responsible. You are responsible. And being a responsible person, responsible owner means feeding. Yes, I acquired this knowledge from being a combat medic. You're right. Being a responsible owner means a few things. Yeah, some water in there. You have to feed the creature. You have to house the creature. You have to make sure that when you're feeding the creature, you just can't, you know, if you leave an animal to eat whatever the hell it wants to eat, it's probably going to get sick. Animals will eat whatever the hell they want unless they have certain guidance. Okay? Making sure the animal eats right is very important. Actually, let me show you. This right here is what that gecko eats, mealworms that are conveniently kept in our refrigerator above everything else. But we have to make sure that it has a healthy diet and make sure that it eats too. We have to make sure that its dietary needs are met. You just can't let the animal eat whatever it wants. Secondly, habitat. Habitat is very important, especially when the animal lives with you or in something that you've made. You made a little house for it or something like that. The leopard gecko lives in what is effectively a terrarium, and it has to be kept at a certain heat, certain temperature. Excuse me, not heat. Certain temperature. It has to have its circadian rhythm maintained by turning on and off lights. You know, that sort of thing. But we can't let the animal just run around here because it's going to wreck stuff. You can't just put an animal in a home and expect it to do what people do. There's a reason it's being owned, right? If it was independent and it could do what it wants, it probably wouldn't be a pet now, would it? So, that being said, it is up to the owner to make sure that the pet is properly taken care of, properly maintained. Animal wrecks your house. Whose fault is that? Who didn't watch the animal? Huh? You knew when you bought it, you'd have to watch it. You just can't be negligent and expect it not to wreck shit. It's an animal. It does what an animal is going to do. It's a creature. Hell, even some people have that problem. But I want to encourage people to definitely become owners, because as we've seen, it can be very fun. But make sure when you are an owner of a creature that you are very attentive to its needs, not what you want it to do, what it needs, because you can't superimpose your needs upon the animal. You can't. The animal's needs are different than people needs, even though technically we are of the Animalia fucking family. I think family. I might be wrong. Don't know. Don't care. We are among Animalia. But let me be very precise here. When I'm talking about an animal, I'm talking about something named me. Because humans behave a certain way. Humans have found that owning other human beings is wrong. We found that. But there are certain humans who don't really behave like humans. They behave more like the creatures that walk on four legs. They can't operate among other creatures such as ourselves. So, that being said, folks, if y'all want some more tips on how to be a good owner, let me know. Let me know. So, y'all have a good night. I'll be in Discord a little later once I'm done making dinner. Y'all have a wonderful night. It's Pledge Week, folks. It's Pledge Week. What you're pledging to, I have no idea. I just love saying it. Y'all have a good night.